Hiya then folks, it's me, the Tight Yorkshireman, here on Nuts and Bolts, the poor man's electric boat. As you'll see, I'm inside at the minute. It's raining out there. I'm not right keen on rain, don't like getting wet. It's horrible, innit? But anyway, I'm not really calling this a proper episode as such. It's more just a little catch up, see where we are, see what we've been up to, and see what future plans we've got for Nuts and Bolts. And for us in general, me and Dawn that is. She's a bit camera shy is Dawn, so she tries to avoid the camera as much as possible. I'll try and get her on there a bit more in future. But yeah, just a little catch up, show you what we're doing, show you what we're up to, and show you what we've done and not done on the boat lately. Basically, boat wise, as you've probably seen on the previous couple of episodes, we have had a few issues with it. It did go bang. We ordered a couple of new parts, fitted them, still wasn't working right. So we've ordered a few more bits, of which some of them have arrived, some of them haven't. The ones that have come we have fitted, and we've kind of got 70-80% of the way there to getting a back up and running. But there are still a few jobs to do. The actual throttle and things like that we've got to sort out, get that fitted. Seems some of the parts have had to come from China, and quite understandably at the minute. It's taking a little bit longer than usual. But while we're doing that, we are fitting all new switches, tidying up all the wiring, getting all the cables into trunking and stuff like that. It's all the jobs that needed doing anyway, but we were just kind of waiting to make sure things worked before we really started to tidy it up. So we are making progress on that front, and touch wood, within the next week or two, we will have Nuts and Bolts back out there doing what it should be doing. That's taking us down the canals. We have, however, got some quite interesting and we think quite exciting news as well. We've owned Nuts and Bolts, or as it was called originally, Millstone, for just over a year now. When we bought it, we kind of thought it'd be odd weekends, maybe a week holiday here and there on it. Be great for a little break away from the house. But what we've actually found is we're kind of doing it the other way. We spend 95% of our time here on the boat and 5% of our time at our house. So what could we do about that, did we think? Well, unfortunately, Nuts and Bolts is only 36 foot long. A little bit short for a liverboard boat, really. We don't want to get rid of Nuts and Bolts, but we do want to liverboard a boat. So we've bought another boat. Yes, we went out, we've had a look at a few different boats, different lengths, different layouts, and we saw one that was for sale, ironically enough, about a mile down the canal. 50-foot boat, previously been used as a liverboard. Lately it's been used as a leisure boat for the people that own it, but it was previously liverboard, so it is set up sort of to live on it. Proper bathroom, things like that on there, proper bedroom, but it does need a little bit of work. But you've probably seen over the last couple of months on the videos that I've been doing, we're not afraid of a bit of hard work, and we're quite happy to get stuck in. Winging it is what we do, and winging it's what we're going to be doing on this new boat. I will say straight away, and just to clarify, we're not getting rid of Nuts and Bolts, we are continuing on with the electric drive. The new boat will be an addition. In effect, what we're doing is, we've got the family estate car, which is going to be the new boat, the boat that we'll be living in, and Nuts and Bolts will be the weekend sports car. Yeah, you see where I'm coming from with that. But yeah, we'll end up living on the other boat, and this will be our little toy, for now at least, shall we say. But looking at the other boat, it is, like I say, it is a bit of a project. It does need some work doing on it. We want to get it to how we want to live on it. Like I say, it is all there. There's the seats, there's the kitchen, there's the bathroom, there's the bedroom. But I think, like with anything, you want to put your own stamp on it. And it is one that, it's the steel hull, but it's a fiberglass and wood top, which does divide opinions. Some people like them, some people don't. The top on it does seem alright. We might have to do some work on that. We're going to see. But what we are going to do is, over the coming weeks, we're going to do a little bit of exploring, taking a bit of the panelling off, things like that, seeing what we need to do and making a plan. Because it's definitely going to be a project. It's just, is it a little project? Is it a medium-sized project? Or is it a big project? So, we are going to be doing vlogs about that as we do it. But what I am going to do as well is make sure as we do the vlogs, some of them will still be about nuts and bolts, doing the electric drive, and they'll be clearly titled so that if that's what you're interested in and that's what you're watching for, you can pick those ones out and watch them. But equally, the vlogs about the new boat will be clearly titled as that, and therefore if you're interested in watching the project, that's fantastic. What we will be doing with the project as well is, we will be showing you the costs and everything of how much it costs to own a boat. And being the Tight Yorkshireman, everything's done on a budget. Don't mean that we bodge things, don't mean that we do things wrong. It just means we kind of sometimes look a bit left field, we look a bit out of the box. How can we do something without just rushing off and spending a load of money? Such as things like the solar system. We'll be installing one of them because it's basically going to be an off-grid living boat, so we want to be self-sufficient. But like I said, the solar system, we're not going to be rushing off and buying all the nice fancy stuff in blue boxes that costs an arm and a leg. But we'll be getting the right stuff that does the job that we need, because in all fairness, some of the stuff in the nice blue boxes will text you to tell you that you've got low battery power, but I can find that out by looking on the little display that's on the box anyway. So there's some of it. We'll be going down the budget route. We'll be going down the how can we do boating without spending an arm and a leg. And yes, there are costs involved that can't be avoided. There's mooring costs, there's licensing costs, there's blacking the boat, which is one of the first jobs we're going to have to be looking at. We are going to try and get the boat somewhere, get it out the water, get it blacked, and from there we know we've got a good sturdy hull to work from. It has got a Lister diesel engine fitted that, touch wood, runs like a dream. So that's one thing on that boat we're not really going to be doing much of. Obviously we'll probably give the engine a bit of a service, just give it a once over, make sure everything's alright. But realistically that boat is more the cosmetics and the things that we need like that for living that we're going to be looking at. Whereas on this boat, obviously we are looking at the mechanicals of the electric drive. Another interesting bit we'll be looking at with the budgeting is, where that boat is currently moored is a bit of a community living area. It's not direct through CRT, so there aren't things provided for you up there like they are in a normal CRT mooring. CRT is Canals and River Trust, for anybody who's not aware. It's a bit like kind of the council of the waterways. But obviously on a normal mooring they come and cut the grass and things like that. Where the boat is at the minute, it's the community that does things like that. So the moorings are cheaper, but you have to put a little bit of effort in. But on the moorings there's things like, there's a veg patch, there's some fruit trees, there's a grapevine. Apparently one of the people there makes wine. I'm not right into wine, but if there's homemade wine going, I might have a sample of it. There is also like an off-grid solar setup for the whole of the little community, but obviously you have to share that, so you have to take your own dibs out of that. So that's why as well we are going to set our boat up so it is completely independent, and maybe just tap into that as and when we need it. But we do think it's quite an interesting way of looking at boating in general, and especially when you are doing it Tight Yorkshireman on a budget. So I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy that and you're going to follow us on that journey. Some of it as well will be the cruising videos. We'll show you when we're out and about, how we're enjoying the boat, how we're working on the boat, how we're mending the boat, and equally maybe when we're a bit stressed and things aren't going quite as they should be, because as we've found out on this project, that does happen all too often. So that does bring me on to my next little point, and I'll try to be as brief as I can and not waffle on, because you don't want to sit here all evening listening to me. I'm sure you've got better things to do with your time. But yeah, partly because of that, and partly because we are hoping to get out and about on nuts and bolts as well, we are looking to try and improve the cameras and the microphones and things that we use. Well, I say improve them. We haven't actually got any really. I use my phone for recording on most of the stuff and just use the built-in microphone, which has kind of been alright while we've just been in the marina setting, out the wind, not travelling, no engine noises and things. But as we start moving about a bit more, we could do with a slightly better setup. Ideally, one of the first things we're looking at getting is a cordless microphone. What that means is, obviously, while we're recording, if the microphone's either clipped to myself or whoever's doing the work, you can actually pick up what we're saying as we're doing it. There is one of the other vlogs called Narrowboat Natterings, which is Paul Lumsden and Mrs Lumsden occasionally appears in it, where they've got one of these microphones, and it is really good. I've kind of seen one recently that they did where they're going through a lock, and kind of Paul walks up to the lock, and as he's opening it, he's still recording from the boat, but you can hear everything that he's saying and doing while he's up there. So, incidentally, it's a really good vlog. So I'll put the link in that in the description. Have a look at that. Said Narrowboat Natterings. But yeah, so that's the sort of thing that we're looking to get. The unfortunate thing is that kind of microphone, you're talking 160 quid, and that's a lot of money, especially for, I'll say it again, the Tight Yorkshireman. So something that will be really useful is we have a thing called Patreon, where if anybody wants to, they can kind of sponsor us, just like an odd £1 or £2 a month. Basically, you get your name up in lights. We've got somebody's name to come up at the end, who incidentally, they're doing an electric drive boat. They're doing it over in Canada. It's a lifeboat that they're doing, liveaboard lifeboat they're called, which we'll probably have another look later on in a month or two, see how they're getting on with that. Their idea is they're building this boat over in Canada, and then when it's actually done, they'll be shipping it over to the UK, and they'll be using it on the waterways around England. But yeah, so they're supporting us on Patreon, just to, like I say, £1 or £2 a month. And the money that we get from that does just go towards the camera equipment and things like the microphones. It's genuinely not being used for, well, either my beer or for actually doing the project itself. At the end of the day, it's our boat. We're paying for that. That's what we're going to work for, is to pay for things like this. It's just like, so we're doing the project anyway, but to be able to bring things like this onto YouTube, we do really need the equipment, and obviously it costs money. So it would be appreciated, but by all means, it's not obligatory. You can watch for free without it. It's just if you can help us out, it would be appreciated on that front. Another thing I'll just quickly mention is we were contacted by a chap called Tom, who's building a Triumph Dolomite, a 1977 Triumph Dolomite, and he's electric driving that in a very similar way to what we've gone about this. Is no disrespect to Tom, but he's winging it as well. He's kind of got part way through the build already. He's using a similar motor to ours as the drive motor, and he's not too far away from where we are, so we're going to pop over when we get a spare few minutes. It says a spare few minutes, you know, in between work, family, sorting this boat, sorting the new boat. Yeah, we'll find 5 minutes somewhere. We'll pop over and we'll have a chat to Tom, and again we'll perhaps see about sort of following his project, because it is a similar sort of setup that he's doing, more or less making it up as he goes along, and we'll see how that one gets on. But I think for now that's kind of brought us up to date on what we're doing. Like I say, I hope everyone wants to join us and follow us on our new project as well as following this one, because I think the two should run kind of quite nicely side by side. Like I said, this one we're doing more the mechanical side, doing the electric drive. The other boat is going to be more the cosmetic side and things like the solar systems and plumbing kitchens in and building bathrooms and things like that, I think. So they should run sort of pretty smoothly together. And obviously the new boat, we are going to be looking more at the aspect of life living on board a boat, which obviously has its ups and its downs, so it'll be interesting to follow that as well. So I think, as you can see, we're kind of halfway through a bit of a spring clean here on nuts and bolts. We've got all the clothes out, we've got the drawers out, done somewhere knocking about, nice and busy. So I suppose I better sign off, go and help her before she starts shouting at me. So from me, the Tight Yorkshireman, here on Nuts and Bolts, I'm going to carry on winging it, and we'll see you next time. And you never know, the next one might be on the new boat, where we might reveal a little bit more about it. See you later, folks.